people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's my last video of the year and I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to all my beautiful subscribers. You guys have been so amazing, and to those who have not subscribed, I thank you so much for joining me in this video. Please do subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Today's video shall be on fabric manipulation. We shall be using our patterns to create some beautiful styles. Okay, so we'll be making some smoking designs or smoking patterns on our fabrics, and I'll be showing you how to go about that. Okay, so all you need for this tutorial is a piece of fabric, your pattern paper, and your ruler, your thread and needle to match with your fabric. Okay, so let's jump straight into the tutorial. So first we'll be making the lettuce design. This looks more like a basket or an interwoven lines. Okay, so to achieve this, I'll just mark 1 inch square vertical and horizontal lines. Okay, I'll be using the pattern on my cutting mat to guide me. Each of these lines are 1 inch, so I'll just follow them to run through this faster. Okay, so I'm drawing down my 1 inch vertical lines, after which I'll also draw my 1 inch horizontal lines. So these are my 1 inch vertical lines and horizontal lines. I'm going to apply diagonal lines into each of these blocks. Okay, so we're going to be applying diagonal line here, then we'll drop one box and apply on the next one, then we'll drop one box. Okay, so let me show you how it works. So this is it. We'll apply here and drop this box, then we'll apply on the next one and drop this box, apply on the next one, drop this box, like that. Okay, then on the next line we're going to apply it facing the other way, like so, and drop this box, apply like so and drop this box, apply like so and drop this box, like that. Okay, so on the third line we're going to, okay, let me just take it one after the other. Okay, so apply this, drop this box, apply this, drop this box, apply, drop this box, apply, drop this box, like so. Then on the next line we're dropping one box as well, drop here, apply here, drop here, and apply on this one. But this time we are moving it from right to left. Okay, so we'll keep doing this until we get to the last block. Okay, let's now apply this same method on our fabric. So I've just applied that on the fabric. If you look closely, you're going to see the lines. Okay, so it's one down, left to right, then the next one is right to left, left to right, right to left. So to sew this, we're going to start with the point 1. Let me show you with my pen. So this is point 1. Then we'll connect it with point 2. Okay, then the next one will be point 3 to point 4. Okay, and this will be point 5 to point 6. Okay, and this is point 7 to point 8. So in that manner, that's how we're going to be sewing it. Now watch closely and see how I sew it. I'm holding point 1 and 2 together. Now you run another stitch to secure this. Then point 3 and 4. So now you will sew the first point, which is on your left. You sew the first point like so. And you link it up with the second point. Then you're going to put them together like so. And then you secure it with a tight stitch. Then you move to the next row. You sew this. So on these vertical lines, you just let your thread run. Then on the diagonal lines, you're going to hold the 2 points together like this. Okay? This is what I mean. This is a diagonal line. So you tighten it like so. And secure with 1 or 2 tight stitches. Sew this. Okay, so that's it. And secure it again. Then move to the next one, which is on the right. Sew it. Then you move to the next on your left. For a beginner, you can cut the thread on this point so that by the time you're stitching the diagonal one, it will not be shrinking along. Okay, but it's just easy to do like so. We are dragging the diagonal lines and stretching the horizontal lines. Secure your stitch. Okay, so next, this is it. Sew on this point. Drag this, you hold this in place and drag the diagonal ones and secure the stitch. Then move to the next. So continue in that order until you've done your last box. Okay, let me just mention that you need to cut twice the size of fabric you need for your project. Okay, so if you're working with a project of 30 inches, you will need to cut 60 inches of your fabric, because by the time you make these designs on them, it's going to shrink your fabric. Okay, continue in this order. Once you get to the bottom, you reverse and start sewing upwards. you basically continue in the same order. We'll continue in that order until you've reached your last block. Then ensure to fasten tightly with a very tight stitch. Okay, so let me just show you how it will look like when you're done. And this is it. It will look just like this when you're done. Okay, when you've done this on your whole pattern. So let's move to the next pattern. So our second design is the arrow design. It looks more like triangles knitted together. Okay, and to achieve this, I've also made my 1 inch vertical and horizontal lines, just the way we did on the first pattern. Then for this one, our diagonal lines is going to run from right to left like so. Okay, then you jump 1 block. Then on the second line, you run 1 left to right, then you move to the second line, you run left to right this way. Then on the third one, we're going to run right to left, fourth one left to right. Okay, if you're looking at what I'm doing, you're going to understand how this one operates. Then this third block is going to be left completely blank. Now, do you get what I'm saying? This third block is left blank. Then we move to the next one. You run your line right to left, then move to the next line, left to right, facing down. Okay, then on the next block, right to left, on the next one, left to right. Okay, so it's right to left, left to right. Then you skip the next block. So you skip the next row and move to the next one. Then you go right to left, then left to right. So I'm going to apply this to the fabric. We're going to apply the same principle. That means sewing, shrinking all the diagonal lines and sewing on the vertical lines. So let's start. Now here is it. You start with this point. You can secure your stitch. Then move to the next diagonal line and shrink it. So you shrink like so. Okay, and ensure to secure your stitch, the tight stitch. You can use 1 or 2 tight stitches to secure. It's all fine. Then move to the next one. Okay, so allow the thread to relax. You can choose to cut this thread out if you don't want to stretch it, or you're not sure of not dragging it. You just cut it just to make your work easier, but it's all fine to also sew it that way. So now we're going to drag this diagonal line. We're going to drag it like so. Okay, so you just drag it. Now we secure our stitch. Then move to the next one. Drag the diagonal lines. So. And secure. Once you get down here, you make your reverse to the next one. You can secure each of the stitches just to make your work easier. Okay. Then move to the next one. So you continue like this until you get to the last block. So let me show you what the front looks like. So if you continue to the end of this pattern, you will even see it better. Okay, so now let's do the third pattern. The third one is the bone pattern or the bone design. It looks just like bones, okay? So, and it's very simple to make. I've also drawn my dimension. Let me just mention that the size of the square you want depends on how bold you want the design to be. If you want it bigger, you can make your blocks to be maybe 2 inches by 2 inches or even 3 by 3, depends on how bold or what project you're using it for. But I'm using just 1 inch just for the illustrations. Okay, so for this bone pattern, you will draw your lines just as usual, your horizontal lines. Okay, but this time they will all face the same direction, but you're skipping one box as you go. Okay, so draw on this box, drop this box, draw this, drop the next, draw on this and drop the next. So that's how we're going to go for this one. So on the next row, we'll drop this and mark here. We'll drop the next box and mark here, drop the next box and mark here, drop the next box. So we'll continue in the same pattern until we've reached your last square. Okay, so this is what the pattern looks like. Please subscribe if you have not. It's free, you don't need to pay for it, it's absolutely free. So now let's apply this to the fabric and I'll show you how it's done. So the fourth pattern is going to be a heart design. Okay, so to achieve this, I've also marked my vertical and horizontal dimensions to form my squares. The size of this square totally depends on you and how bold you want your pattern to be. Okay, so now on our first block, I'm going to mark a diagonal line like so. Then I'll skip one box and mark another diagonal line on the right. Then I'll move to the next step, okay, and mark a diagonal line same way I marked the first one. Then skip the next box and mark another one to the right the same way I marked on the second one. Okay, so now to our second set of boxes. Okay, I've skipped one block also and I've marked here. Then I'm going to mark under that too. Are you seeing how it's going? Then we'll skip one row and move to the next row. Then we'll mark it facing the same direction as the second one. Okay, so practically it is 2 to the left, 2 to the right, skip a box, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, then you skip. Now we'll move to the next row. On this row we have skipped one column as well, so we're going to go like so, and the second one. Okay, then to the right we'll mark also, then to the second one. We'll skip this and move to the next row and mark like so, 1 2, then skip 1 1 2 to the right. Okay, then we'll skip one column or we'll skip one and move 1 2, skip this and move 1 2, then to the next one we'll skip 1 2 1 2. So this is how the pattern goes. Now let's apply this to the fabric and I'll show you how it's done. So for this design we're going to be sewing each of these 2 points together like so. Just watch closely and see how I'm doing it. So this is point 2. This is point 3. And this is point 4. So we'll drag all these points at the same time. Like so. So this is what it looks like. Then we'll fasten it. Once you fasten this, you cut this out and go to the next point. Now, this is our next point, okay? Our next set of 4. So we're going to take this point first. Take this one. Then we take this one. And this one. And we drag them all together. So this is it. So we drag the 4 like so. We need to have this. So then we secure our stitch. Once you've tightly secured it, then you cut it out and move to the next one and the last one. Okay, so look at it. I've sewn these 4 points, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so I'm going to drag them all at once like so. Secure it, the tight stitch. Okay, then cut this. So you continue in this order until you've done the last square. Okay, once you flip over, it's going to look like this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was interesting. I hope to see you again in my next video. So we'll do it bigger and better next year. Do have a beautiful celebration and a very prosperous new year. Bye.